I just thought of a really funny joke that I can't make.
Huh? At all or on the thing?
No, I can't make it.
Even to me?
It's, well, to you especially.
Why? Make it. I'm not
Ravings of a crazy old man. I was going to say, which we can make as a subtitle of this podcast.
That's funny. Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott, and that is Lauren.
Hello.
All right, Lauren. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you want to send us email, it's a podcast at wildershow.com. We're on Instagram at Wilder Show Pod. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. Wherever you get your podcast, like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share, and we appreciate that. Also on the TikTok now and again. Today is Election Day in Texas.
Happy Election Day.
Happy Election Day, everybody. Mm-hmm. And for yesterday, a happy Independence Day.
That's right.
Texas Independence Day. Real quick, if you'd like a good read, go to mereorthodoxy.com or .org.
You want me to check it?
Yeah, check it out. Mere Orthodoxy. Anyway, when you get there, one of my sons, Jamie, wrote a piece that they put up. Jamie did a piece back in 2023 for them after the fall of Roe versus Wade, after that was overturned. And at the end of the year, Mere Orthodoxy made that one of their top columns of the year.
That's very cool.
In their year in review. Isn't that kind of cool?
Uh-huh. It is mereorthodoxy.com. And if you go there right now, it's right there at the top.
Isn't that fun?
Right there at the top.
Yeah, it's good. He's a good writer. He's a good writer because he's a good reader and a great thinker.
That's awesome.
But he's a good writer. And I saw that before it was put up, but only as a proof, not an edit. I didn't edit anything.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he always says, "Hey, Pops, take a look at this before I send it in. Tell me what you think."
Uh-huh.
And I said, there's a space before the comma, so take that out. And one other thing, that was it.
Yeah.
There were no adjustments. Anyway, you're going to love it. I love it. And more than that, it's meaningful, especially today on Election Day.
Yeah.
On the last podcast, we had wondered how much longer it would be until something would happen in Iran.
Right.
And it did.
Mm-hmm.
Got to tell you, I watched the whole thing from early Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We had some kind of weird eyebrow. We won't detail what it was, but eyebrow raising thing that you and I got on Friday.
Yeah.
And we were like,
something could be happening.
Yeah, something is afoot,
mm-hmm.
as Watson and what's his name would say.
Holmes?
Yeah. Something is afoot. But you never know. I mean, not to always seem like you see something, around every corner or under every rock. But turns out, happened.
Yeah.
And I still have that app on my phone from Israel.
I know what you're talking about.
The alerts.
Yeah.
It gives you the alerts where they say, go get into a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Find a bunker. Like right now, you have like 15 seconds to find something. Mm-hmm. By the time you get that last layer of... And my phone was blowing up. I mean, overnight.
Wow.
Beginning like at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, blowing up like boom, boom, all night long. So I turned the TV on and watched what was going on. Mm-hmm. You know, with live feed cameras, you can just search live feed camera Tel Aviv.
And you can watch it happen.
Yeah. I mean, a camera bot is just pointing and you can just watch.
Yeah. I've not done that.
I did do that. And part of one of the ones that I was on, it was really weird. We've talked before about all of the bomb shelters that are portable, and they're really everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I happened to be looking at, I think it was Tel Aviv camera feed, and the sirens were going off, and it was that level of importance. There previously had just been, cars driving down the street. Not a big deal. Mm-hmm. The minute that thing went off, cars put their blinkers on, their emergency blinkers, and pulled over. And I saw people getting out of cars and running to, I couldn't see where they went to, but I guess a bomb shelter.
Yeah.
And then when the alarm stopped going off, They came back to their car and got in their car and drove away.
Man.
Isn't that weird to think you'd be driving down a road and you think, oh, there's one up here?
Yeah, it's like what we've read about and heard about and knew about, and then you actually see it happen. Yeah.
See it live.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a TikTok video of something. I was watching it, and there it was.
See, that's a place where in real time works.
Yeah.
Have you heard
in
people
real time.
use
IRT,
in real time a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always think of it as necessary. Like in a lot of cases,
when
people use that, it's like, how else would it be? But that is a great example of when in real time. There's no better way to describe what you were seeing from a live feed like that. Let's
talk about Iran for a second. I mean, Iran was not even particularly Muslim country before the overthrow. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard, now the IRGC is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Right.
Those are the defenders. Anyway, it was basically a secular country. It had, aspirations to be more Western.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really find interesting is going back to 1935. They weren't always Iran. They were Persia.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Persia. But it changed in 1935. Why did they change the name from Persia to Iran? Do you know?
I don't.
I started wondering about some of this stuff because my mom the other day, and it may sound like a simple question, but she meant it more deeply than this, said, what's the difference between Iraq and Iran or Iraq and Iran? And they're obviously they're separate countries, to be sure. But there are other differences too. One is Sunni, one is Shiite. One is really Islamic. Well, frankly, one is Arab. Iraq is Arab, and Iran is Persian. It's not Arab.
Yeah.
So they're different. But anyway, the word Iran means the land of Aryans. Now, when you think of 1935 and Aryans, the land of Aryans, what else could you think of, right?
Yeah.
Germany.
Sure.
Hitler thought the Iranians he thought they were an Aryan race. And some people say that the Shah went to the international community and said, we no longer want to be called Persia. We want to be called Iran. And a lot of people thought the Shah at the time did that at the request of Hitler. Land of the Aryans. So when did you find out about the thing? Just Saturday morning when you woke up?
Saturday morning.
Yeah. Was it on a social media post or was it on?
No, I didn't. I don't. Sometimes during the week I'll open headlines right away. I did not do that on Saturday morning, but I got a text from one of my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And that sent me to it.
Most of the time we do these attacks overnight. And because it was overnight here, we might think, oh, it was another time we did it overnight. But the world is not always the same time.
We're not all on the same time zone. Yeah.
We're not. So it wasn't. It was actually at dawn. Why was it at daylight this time instead of the cloak of darkness? According to reports that have come out since the weekend, Mossad and our own CIA had done a lot of tracking of the Ayatollah Khamenei, the one that was killed, one of the 47 or 48 that were killed, that they had his pattern down. And that in the daytime, they seemed to believe he felt more secure, more confident. Like if it didn't happen overnight and he's waking up, it's like, okay, we'll keep going.
It's not going to happen in the daylight.
Who's going to do that?
Yeah.
So at 8:11 or 8:12 in the morning, local time there, they did just rain down and caught a bunch of these leaders in meetings together. There's much you can say about Israel and the United States doing this together. And it's controversial. There are lots of paths we're not going to go down in this conversation. But I think what we're going to find over time is that the United States targeted the facilities, right? Like the naval bases, the air defense, things like that, military facilities. And that it was Israel that was trying to basically decapitate the leadership. That's what we're going to, I think, find out.
I did see that Hegseth said that the war was not about regime change, but, and then this was the quote, regime sure did change.
Yeah.
I thought it kind of, I thought it was at least somewhat about regime change.
Yeah. And I think that's, first of all, I watched his speech. He is so difficult for me to watch.
Yeah.
He does this thing where so-and-so, it's like sometimes I want to say Baptist preachers because I was raised a Baptist, but sometimes preachers, they will do these things where they talk like this and then they talk like this.
Uh-huh.
It's so irritating. It just bogs down. I tune it out. Anyway, I heard him say that. I think they're just trying to say, look, it wasn't about regime change, but the regime sure did change. I mean, that was sort of what he said. I know that's exactly what you quoted.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's because a lot of people don't want us to be about regime change.
Uh-huh. Well,
I don't have a problem with regime change in this case.
So is it enough to just say it wasn't about regime change?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
To satisfy the people who don't want us to be about regime change?
No, of course not. Yeah, he's just, he's an odd bird.
Yeah.
2 names for the war. Did you see that? There's the Israel folks named the war, and we named the war.
Epic Fury.
That's ours.
That's ours. I don't know about Israel's.
Roaring Lion.
Oh, okay. I did know about that.
They always have things that have to do with the Bible or whatever, or the Old Testament.
Yeah.
David's sling or something else. Okay, so we talked about it for a few weeks. It was going to happen. The president came out and had, I think, 3. He's back at the White House now. But over the weekend, he had 2 things that he put out. I think a total of 16 minutes, maybe that was it. And it was all put out on Truth Social, his own media platform.
Right.
But remarkably, he stayed for the most part on script and on task. I thought they were decent statements that he had to make. And by the way, there are people in the streets in a good way in other parts of the world excited this guy's dead. Even in the United States, there were protests, but there also were lots of people with flags, waving flags. It's remarkable. The people that know a lot about Iran, like the Iranians, they think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
The people that are liberal in the United States who just are going to trade in their F-ICE placards for leave the mullahs alone placards, because that's the next little virtue signal group they want to be a part of. They're the ones that are against it. If this had been done by Obama or Clinton or anybody else, it wouldn't have been a problem for liberals. They wouldn't have a problem with it. It just goes back to what we talked about before. They're most opposed to most of what they oppose only because it's from him. If it were different, they would have no problem with it. Didn't have a problem with Obama in 2011 or Pakistan 2009 or 16, Yemen, Somalia, Iraq, Syria. All those things were done without a declaration of war. They didn't have congressional approval. Obama didn't have congressional approval to get that done. He did it anyway. Not a problem. And of course, it was wall-to-wall coverage over the weekend. I mean, breaking news every second. And interviews with various Republicans about all that was happening. One question from, I think it was Meet the Press. Here was the question that was asked. I mean, why now? Why did President Trump do this now? It has been this way for almost 50 years. Why did the president feel the need to do this now? So often do I wish I could pause it and give or be the person to give the answer. Because the person being asked the question went on to try and give some, justification. But, and then, but, and blah, 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 blah. But that wasn't the best answer. The best answer to why after 50 years did President Trump feel the need to do this? The answer is, why have no other presidents in 50 years done this? They've declared them the world's largest sponsor of terror. Iran has been chanting death to America for decades. It's been working to get a nuclear bomb. It's a threat to the American military bases and also some of our allies in Europe. Given all that, the question is not, why did Trump do this now? The question is, hey, why didn't all those other people do it ever?
Right.
That's really the question. Wild prediction before we move on to something else. In the next month or so, or when this wanes down, I would say sometime in the summer, there will be protests in Cuba. by people that we're told are longing for democracy. And this is important to the Trump administration. I think more importantly, perhaps to Marco Rubio. But you can put that in your back pocket. And I believe we're going to revisit that later.
Okay.
It starts with some organic protests. Mm-hmm. And then we say, see, the people really want this. And then we'll see. I want democracy in our hemisphere for sure. You saw what happened in Austin on 6th Street. Yeah, 6th Street, about 1:30 in the morning. And 6th Street it's the bar area. Used to be a lot of the live music you'd get on 6th Street. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of moved a bit. But certainly it is still the bar area of Austin, pretty close to the university. You know, people have been wondering about sleeper cells. I mean, it's not just something in the movies. As it relates to Iran, right? Mm-hmm. About sleeper cells in the U.S. and in Europe, people that are placed there, long ago, they assimilate, they have families, they are professionals.
Just rewatch 24.
Mm-hmm. They have normal jobs, a professor at a university or an accountant, work at a bank, just waiting to be activated.
Do you get the sense that this was that?
No, and that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
This guy in Austin, naturalized citizen, born in Senegal. Mm-hmm. The question, of course, that's being asked is what you were saying. Is this, is it a cell? Is it in response to the attack in Iran? Is it random? What was his motivation?
Right.
I don't think they have any reason to believe he's part of a cell.
Yeah.
But it's kind of beyond dispute what might have motivated him. When you know that he was wearing a hoodie that said property of Allah. Mm-hmm. And under that, he had a T-shirt that was the Iranian flag.
Yeah.
And there are photos of Iranian leaders in his home, and in his car was a Quran. The frustration that many of us have with law enforcement when they say, we're trying to figure this out. Mm-hmm. If you had 1/10 of that information that led someone to believe the person was pro-life, we would have already concluded we had a good idea. Anyway, it should be a short investigation trying to determine what motivated him. What we don't know is if he was sort of one of those lone gunmen or part of something bigger, which I'm not sure we're going to know. The war in Iran did crowd out something out of the news, didn't it?
It sure did.
A couple of things. Mm-hmm. One is Bill and Hillary Clinton's testimony.
Yeah.
There at the end of the week. They answered, turns out they did answer all the questions. They never pled the fifth, never took the fifth. And we'll just have to wait for the full transcript and the video. But the events of the weekend just sort of took up every bit of oxygen and left nothing for the Clintons. And the other big story is what?
I can think of two other stories that I kind of thought it crowded out. You might disagree about the crowding out. For sure, Nancy Guthrie. Yeah. We didn't hear very much about Nancy Guthrie over the weekend. And then also what was happening in Mexico.
Yeah. The travel alerts and all those things and the cartels and the blowing up of things and the burning of buses. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie for a second. 4-week mark.
Right.
4 weeks. That was overnight Saturday. And it got no attention from the media. None. Now, obviously, there were other things going on.
Sure.
Today is the 31st day from her disappearing. Mm-hmm. And according to some reports, the investigation is changing. Media coverage is waning. I think the media almost breathed a sigh of relief when there was something else to soak up time.
Yeah.
I do. As we talked about before, early on, you can go hard on this stuff. You can go full bore. This woman needs medication. This woman has a pacemaker. She doesn't get around easily. She's 84 years old. We'll go wall to wall for, I don't know, maybe a week. But at some point, you keep going because she continues to be missing. I don't think they can.
Well, I'm sure that they thought at the beginning of this that if they thought, if there could ever be a master plan, thinking, we'll go hard for a week, I'm sure they would have thought by a week it's going to be over.
Sure.
I mean,
in
a week it will be, all the ends will be tied up.
That's right. We would have found her, returned her, but no. Mm-hmm. And we had believed that there's no way it would be solved before the 28th. And here we are, several days past the 28th, and it's still not resolved. I think, and this sounds really crass and academic, but I don't think that story, in that nothing else developed from it, had much more than about a 2-week maximum legs in the media. They kept it alive longer because it was Savannah Guthrie's mom. Nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
I mean, I'm everybody else would say, gosh, wish we could have gotten 3 weeks coverage or 3.5 or 3 weeks and 6 days coverage. That would have been nice. Nobody noticed when my kid was missing or whatever. All right, we have a question, a follow-up question from my little burger review. Remember the burger thing I did?
The Arch Burger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a question prompted by that segment.
I had such a taste for McDonald's fries over the weekend, too, and I blame you.
Oh, of course.
But anyway, go ahead. I did not succumb.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Blame me. This is from Josh, and here's what he says. The burger meat amount question from this episode got me thinking about RFK Jr. and a question for y'all. Could either of you, if told there's a $10,000 donation that is waiting for the charity of your choice, would you do RFK's diet largely meat and cultured foods like yogurt and sauerkraut for a total of 30 days? He says he has lost weight, gained muscle, and the most fit 72-year-old he's ever seen.
I could do that.
Yeah, I could do it. I did respond to it and said, when I've had challenges like this, I just view food as fuel. You have to do it that way forever. But if you say, could you do something for 30 days?
What do you mean when you've had challenges like this?
There was a time when I thought, you know what? I'm going to lose X amount of weight. And I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't really care what it is. I'm not going to, if it tastes good, doesn't taste good. If I like it, don't care. I'm just going to do it. That's fuel. I did a little liquid fast.
We did that.
Not so terribly long ago.
3-day.
And
we did
it's a 3-day fast,
thing.
the juice thing. And you know what? There were some of those. You had done it before.
I had.
And you had said, and I said, well, tell me about this. And well, this one isn't very good. And this one is probably the best one. And you saw what I did. I drank them as fuel. Yeah. That's it. It was just fuel. I didn't care what they tasted like. And one of them was really almost like candy. One was much.
There were a couple that were, there were a few that were really good. There was one in particular that's just tough for me. Yeah. But I powered through.
Yeah. Well, that's when, I know you did. That's when you drink it cold and you drink it fast.
Really fast.
It's like, it's just fuel. That's all it is. So I could do, and listen, I'm a meat guy. So
I eat a lot of meat.
Absolutely. So I'll look into RFK's little plan.
I eat a lot of yogurt too. And I could eat a lot of sauerkraut. I like
don't. Sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Oh, it is time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show, Scattershoot. Always tipping the hat to Blackie Sherrod, who gave us that term, Scattershoot, those many years ago. So hat tip to Blackie Sherrod. And welcome to Scattershoot. I have one thing real quick, Lauren, if you don't mind.
Sure.
NASA and Artemis 3, going to the moon. It's our new moonshot delivering people to the moon for the first time in 50 years. NASA says that it has now scrapped it, and it will no longer be a mission that will deliver people to the moon.
What are they delivering to the moon?
Not people. Because technology, Lauren, is not what it was half a century ago. And because Stanley Kubrick is not available for the project.
Gotcha.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Have you ever been frustrated by trying? The answer is yes. Yes. Whatever the end of the question is, the answer is yes.
Go ahead.
Have you tried to break a habit, maybe a decision-making habit? It might be about something. We were talking about diet choices before we started Scattershoot. I have tried to make different decisions around money before, in the way I spend money. And sometimes I think it can end up frustrating because you feel like, why can't I get out of this bad habit I have? Why can't I make these decisions differently? And it turns out that there might be a reason for that is not just it's not just you being weak. It's not just you being able to make a positive change.
Tell me it's not entirely my fault.
It is not entirely your fault.
Thank you.
It is not entirely my fault.
Okay.
It's my brain. It's my crazy brain. The brain mistakes habit for preference. So you wind up doing the same things over and over and over again, and you think you're doing the right thing because your brain is just going on what you've done over and over and over in the past. It can be as simple as when most people make a decision, they assume that they're acting on preference. If I prefer to whatever it is. I mean, the things that I choose in the grocery store, which could be tied to financial things. I've decided I'm going to, change my budget up at the grocery store. I'm going to buy different things. So we think that our brain is making those choices based on our preference. However, some new research shows that maybe the brain doesn't just consult preference when deciding. Repeated actions can bias what people come to prefer. So you choose something often enough and the brain begins treating it as the more desirable, the more certain and more worth choosing again. Even if the objective value is the same. It might be the route that you take in traffic. It might be the foods you choose to eat. Or like I mentioned, financial decisions, things like that.
It might be the person you work with for 30 plus years.
It might be.
I thought it was my preference. I didn't know it was just because it was my habit.
That is true. Some habits are really, really hard to break. The brain appears to use past choices as a shortcut for future decisions.
That makes sense.
It treats the familiarity of it as the value.
That makes sense.
Rather than what the value really might be. You might take the same route in traffic over and over and over again, even though there's a better way to get somewhere where you're used to going. I think of this and I see, you and I have talked about this. We're not getting any younger.
Right.
And I can sometimes see in myself sort of a propensity to do things the way I've always done them rather than be an adopter of some new technology that might make it a little easier for me. And I wonder if this is kind of that, if this is sort of the same thing. My brain has told me this is my preference. There might be a better way to do something, whether it's a faster way to do something, a more efficient way to do something.
I think we are pretty good about everybody will say it's about themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty good about adopting to new things. Now, part of it is the life that we've lived.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been around and we've seen lots of changes. I mean, I was thinking just the other day about just things like cable TV and all the things we've seen.
Yeah.
That from nothing to where we are, and we're doing some of those things. We understand email and internet and
when does that stop though?
No, but here's what I'm trying to say. Imagine, though, if you were in the group like for our parents. Our parents' group did not have all that dramatic exponential change so quickly. So it would make sense then that if you're a person born in, 25 or 30, maybe it is harder for you to adapt to some of those things. But if you're born in 60, 61, 65, certainly anytime since then, we've had so many things that have changed so quickly. That I think will be easier to adapt to things, even though we will be the same age as people who maybe, if they were born in ago times, they would have a hard time adjusting to it.
I don't know. I really wonder about that. I think, my mom and I spend some time working with my mom on some computer things, some email things. My mom was in the workforce until she retired right around the age of 60. She was doing stuff all the time, kept up with all of the technology. She's a great texter because, she had teenage grandchildren. So she got really good at that. But now when we go to work on things like on her email, she'll get really frustrated. She'll say, you can do all of this so fast and it takes me so long. And I say, I do it every day.
Oh, yeah, you're
it's
fluent.
Still a part of my, it's a part of my livelihood. It's a part of, I have to be able to do this and do it well. But when that changes,
yeah, maybe.
I wonder how do you
stay conversant on things?
Yeah,
I don't think you do if you don't have to. I mean, there was an audio editing program way back when, and Kathy's dad, Mr. Martin, wanted to learn how to use it, and so I taught him how to use it. My father-in-law, but then about once every 3 weeks or something, he'd call and say, "Hey, tell me about this or remind me about that." It's because I use it every day.
You just have to do it.
You do it enough. It's like speaking another language. If you can't just speak Spanish, if that's what you're trying to learn, on the 20th to the 23rd of every month,
right?
You're going to forget stuff if it's not part of like your immersion.
Yeah.
And so the things that you have to do all the time, it's not that you're so, not you personally, but it's not that we're so technically savvy and all this. It's like, these are the tools we have to use to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
And so we learn them. But if you don't have to use them, if I could go run my bait shop and we sell breakfast items and grilled cheese sandwiches.
Okay.
And that's it. Those are the only food items. It's bait and tackle.
Close at 2? Is it just like a breakfast lunch?
It's just a breakfast lunch thing. Maybe one more run for the kids on the jet skis, one more time to gas up. But you got a little bait shop and a gas thing for the kids. If I could do that and play dominoes, I wouldn't care about what I forgot.
Yeah.
Technically or whatever, technologically.
But what about you still have to do things. You still have to be or you'd want to be conversant in the things that might make your life easier.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the difference between online banking and writing checks to pay bills.
Yeah.
And I think, what
them.
will the equivalent of that be in however many years?
Something.
I guess, when I think about all of that, then the thing about your brain mistaking habit for preference makes so much more sense.
It does,
than I understand it. I mean, if you're trying to break a habit
Mm-hmm.
of bad decision making, it is something that becomes ingrained in the way it's not as much of a choice maybe as you think it is every time. Your brain is kind of working against you in that way. I know that you have very strong feelings about. If I ask you this question, you're going to know what the answer is right away.
Okay.
And you have very strong feelings about it.
Go.
Saddest song you've ever heard?
Saddest song ever written is actually Gilbert O'Sullivan's "Alone Again Naturally."
I think you have a little competition.
That would be very difficult,
you
and
think?
we could go line by line. But yeah, lay it on me. What's sadder than that?
1991's "Tears in Heaven," Eric Clapton.
Okay. Are you saying that because it was true of his son?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the number one on a recent list of the top 10 saddest songs. Eric Clapton's 1991 "Tears in Heaven" came in number one.
I would say, if I'm not to disparage, if "Tears in Heaven" were not attached to the actual death, it wouldn't be anywhere in the top 50 sad songs. It's a sad song.
Yeah.
But it is only number one because of what is attached to. It's like a person that is on American Idol. They're really good, but they're really, really good because of their story. They were raised by wolves and learned to howl early in their childhood. Only wore clothes around age 10.
Yeah. I remember after you talked about that, the stories, shortly after we'd had maybe our first discussion about that. And then it was about that time of year on American Idol. And the top 3, they were all, I think they were all girls, maybe 2 girls and a guy. And they did the stories. And immediately you knew of the 3 of them, one of them was out.
Sure.
Just a very typical, married parents, middle-class life, music lessons. Things had gone pretty well.
Right.
She had a pretty good life, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But by comparison, she had no
story.
story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just say, but just on the words of the song, I will still stand by Alone Again Naturally, which if we go down line, we won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
If we go line by line, it is tragic. The song is sad because it's attached to the death of his child.
I just didn't know that that disqualified it. But.
No, I'm not saying it's obviously it's number one on the whatever list you're reading from. Did they do a number 2 and a number 5 and a number 10? Tears in Heaven is a sad song. I've always liked Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
So that's a sad song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue about the saddest.
No.
But it's they're both sad songs. You now have me questioning whether that was my preference or just my habit.
What?
Picking that song. I would always pick that song.
Mm-hmm.
I always picked. So I'm wondering if that's really what I think or because I've always said it.
All right. Behind the scenes here, you and I are quite often taking little challenges to prove that we're aging well. Sometimes it's
true.
remembering things, right?
Yes, and I was just remembering. I think in one podcast, you had me during the podcast.
I was very proud of you.
Do some little
you had to
thing.
get up. You had to get up off of the floor.
Oh yes,
from a sitting position without using your hands.
Yeah, no problem.
And I didn't think that you would be able to do it, and
correct.
you did it. I'm just giving you the full.
No, it's fine.
It's not enough to just remember that you were able to do it.
Yeah,
I know that you were really proud of the fact. I can see by this was a video podcast. Everybody would be able to see.
Well,
the important part of this was not that he could do it, but that I thought that he would not be able to do it, and then he
let me correct
rose to the occasion and to his feet without the use of his hands.
Now I'm going to correct you.
Okay.
That it wasn't that I was able to do it. It wasn't that you thought I couldn't do it. It wasn't either of those things. It was that I had no idea if I could do it. and I really believed you might be right that I couldn't do it.
It's not an easy thing to do, especially as we get older.
But for me, honestly, and maybe others could do it when they think they couldn't. It's a physics thing. It's just a physics thing. It's just angles.
Your center of gravity being where it is.
Yep, it's angles and center of gravity and where the weight is born and different things. So
it couldn't possibly be because you're in good shape and working the muscles
no.
that it takes to stand up without using your hands.
Again, let me correct you. People who are in good shape can do it for sure. I'm talking about the rest of us.
I know.
So I'm saying that even if you're not in the best of shape, you might still be able to do it. So I kind of put myself in that category.
Gotcha.
That was not proof that I'm in good shape. That was proof that in spite of being me, I was able to do the task.
Yes.
That's all that I really that I took some pride in.
So do you remember when we did the thing where you had to see how fast you could sit down, get up from a standing position, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up in a chair?
I think
one of them was to see how many times you could do it in an hour. And I'm sorry, no, I think it was to see how many times you could do it in a minute. And, based on your age, there were a certain number of times that you should be able to do that.
Without using your hands, or you can use your hands too? Without using your hands.
No, you just get up and down from a chair. So there's a difference between muscle strength and muscle power.
That makes sense.
Okay?
That makes sense.
A lot of people don't really think about muscle power until we're old enough that we start to reach for a railing going down the stairs, or maybe when it starts to take an extra second to push ourselves out of a seated position in a chair. But there is evidence to suggest that eating roughly 3 tablespoons of peanut butter a day could improve lower muscle body power over about 6 months' time in older adults. Could help you do that. Could help you use those muscles. This is one of the happiest stories ever because it's not at all about physical movement.
That's right.
You don't have to do anything but eat 3 tablespoons.
That's nothing, man. That's good.
Of peanut butter a day.
That really makes sense because you have a motorcycle, has torque.
Yeah.
And it also has speed.
Yeah.
But torque and speed.
Yeah.
And you're talking about those same kind of things Well, like with our body.
So muscle strength is about how much force your muscles can produce. And the power is about how fast they can produce
There
it.
you go.
So when does that come in handy? It comes in handy if you are about to fall and you're able to get back up into a standing position.
That's good.
If you're able to sort of catch yourself before you fall, you feel a little stumble coming on. If your muscle power is strong, you can save yourself from that before you potentially before you hit the ground. And just three. Now, there are some caveats here. Now, one of the things is that this research was funded by the Peanut Institute, and the peanut butter used in the experiment was provided by the J.M. Smucker Company.
That's okay.
So they did say that it could be beneficial if maybe some outside entity, produced this same research, just so we would know for sure. And if you are an adult who is already pretty well nourished, your results might not be the same as someone who is not getting proper nourishment. Okay. And all of a sudden they're adding this 3 tablespoons of peanut butter to their diet every day. The other thing that was kind of important, I thought, that the people who were a part of this study, it's about 250 calories to add to your diet, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter a day. But the adults who were in the study did not have any appreciable weight gain.
3 tablespoons a day. That's a good peanut butter sandwich.
That's a solid peanut butter sandwich.
I mean, it's a good one though. I mean, you could have that.
You can have that on a little toast in the morning.
No problem. I mean, that's good. That's good. I like peanut butter.
Yeah,
that's great.
See some happy news.
Hey. That is the Wilder Show podcast. It's good to end on happy news. We're going to keep watching the unhappy news that's going on in the world, and we'll talk about it next time we get together. Real quick, I said that this Friday I would be on the radio again.
Yeah.
That has changed. That person is not going to take the time off, and so that will not happen this week, but we'll let you know if or when it happens again. All right. If you want to send us email, just email to podcast@wildershow.com. We're on Instagram at Wilder Show Pod. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time, or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on the TikTok now and again. Wherever you get your podcasts, would you please like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share? And we'd appreciate that. And Lauren, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Da